to be hardwired or it won't pass inspection. So now we're hoping that this Thursday/Friday is going to be moving. So school has not started out well for Zach. The Wednesday before he was supposed to go, the president of the college decided that, hey, you guys all have to be vaccinated. And, Zach is 18. Up to that point, he decided he didn't want to get a vaccine, which is his choice. I'm not going to force him to do it. So he got his vaccine and won't be able to participate till he gets his second vaccine, which there's a group of kids that have done that. So had some phone calls tugging at the heartstrings. Crystal went down over the weekend to see him and took care of his laundry, took some stuff down that we'd forgot. So
what'd you forget?
Just some workout stuff. Just some small things like that. Nothing too major, but
gotcha.
So
we are going to be off next Monday. It's going to be radio silence from Crash Course next week, and also from Final Round on Thursday. If you didn't get your fix of Final Round action, Thursday we had Jeff Jackson on. We did the doubleheader. Crash Course was on for an hour, and then we did almost a whole hour with Jeff Jackson with the Final Round program. So that was good. I don't know if you caught up with Cora K. Wire. And you follow Tate and Cora.
I'm sure. I don't remember the whole
We've got the school pictures and everything on the wall from the Wire family, and there was a Prairie guy who did a column on Demolition Derby, and she shared some of that content. I invite you to go take a look at it. It was an interesting perspective. All the work that a lot of people have done to get Demolition Derby out of the doldrums and the stigmas of the 80s and 90s and the way that the sport has evolved, it was set backwards a little ways by the column.
Oh, that's not good.
But at the same time, I would venture to say that the writer himself, he spends a lot of time using satire and sarcasm and comedy to navigate some of the topics that he talks about. He's not an avid Demolition Derby guy, so it's something that is probably a little bit foreign, a little bit confusing to somebody jumping in from the outside, just like we always kind of laugh and joke about some of the folks that do the banger racing over in England, like why in the world would you do that? Yet here we are, just a few hours removed from the Imperials versus the World tournament.
Yep.
That was over there. So I did like the fact that the column left the opening for learning and understanding, and the column also said that hopefully this isn't the last one that he ever attends, and it opens the door to more. So that column was on Cora K. Wire's Facebook page. Jump on there, check that out. I felt my urges to invite the gentleman on the show, at least right away.
Should have done that.
Yeah, but the thing is if this was a column that was dumping on baseball or dumping on hockey or dumping on speed skating or cycling, with the Olympics having concluded, there was a bunch of sports that I didn't know anything about that I was watching. And I probably would have had the same feelings because that sport is important to somebody. And if you know that the writer's style is satire and sarcasm, then maybe you're more willing to tolerate a couple degrees of that. Nonetheless, here we are.
I just feel like that, somebody who doesn't get it, doesn't at least give it a little bit of respect. I think you are a great ambassador for our sport, and you can convey what it means to people and why it means to people and the stuff that goes on and the involvement. And, I just feel like you would be the guy to do that. And obviously, I mean, you do it without anger or sarcasm. So I just feel like you would be the one to have that discussion. Like maybe he should call you next time.
Well, I mean, Minnesota is a good place to learn about Demolition Derby, especially the trucks.
There's some derbies up there.
That's some real stuff. Jared Brown's getting ready to come out of retirement. He's got a kicker car that formerly belonged, I believe that was a Mavis car.
Wow.
So got his hands on a nice piece there. That's I remember sitting under a shade tree outside of a bank when I was working at Lakeland Equipment in Macedon, I think. and doing an interview with a columnist from the Washington Post, and they were venturing into some of the deeper realms of Demolition Derby in Virginia, which we're going to get to talk a little bit about that tonight with Antonio Corral when we talk with him. So it was kind of fun to change the perspective of that writer. I don't know whatever came of the column, if it was just background information or what, but maybe in time he'll get the perspective that we have and understand this is in a vacuum. It is a multi-million-dollar industry.
Oh gosh, yes.
In a vacuum, it's
yes.
not like Toyota Racing Development is throwing money into Demolition Derby.
No. It's definitely. I mean, there's no $1 million sponsorships, let alone $100,000 sponsorships. This is all out of the Derby family's hard-earned pay and out of their own pockets. So yeah, it does get a little frustrating to hear stuff like that. But
Elijah Hicks, who was on the show a couple weeks back, got to run his car. Roof sign was on top of that down, I believe that was at the Otsego County Fairgrounds in Morris.
Oh, he went to Morris.
Yep, so he got to run that. So I asked him how it went, and he said the roof sign looked good, so that makes you a little bit concerned about the rest of the car. Alex Vasco's checking in, and some well wishes out to Eric Remington and Lindsay with an anniversary. I don't know if they've planned the summer like this, but they've somehow managed to do something life-changing every week that we've been in the studio, be it gallbladder surgery or birthdays or another anniversary. And I saw Rob Ostrander lost his dad.
Yeah, condolences to Rob.
Which was sad to hear. Got some more fun family news when we talk to Brandon Reimer in a little bit. We're going to be catching up with him. And waiting in the wings right now, Chance Smith. He's hanging out with us. He picked up a win at the Fayette County Fair, which was a nice addition, really, when you factor in the week that he's had.
Yeah, he had a pretty busy week.
It's been pretty good. Chance, how are you?
Good, guys. How you doing?
Not bad.
We're all right. Tell us a little bit about that win. Looking at the rundown of the top three, it didn't look easy.
It was a good one. I definitely got to give credit to J.D. Lorraine and Kenny Cascaden. They're both very talented wheelmen. Both had very stout rides. And then everyone in that feature. I mean, my dad was out there, Chad Friend, and I'm not sure of the other guy's name, so I don't want to screw it up, but props to them guys. They did an awesome job wheeling them units. So it was definitely a fun derby. I'll definitely give credit to Frankie and his guys. They always treat us with respect and treat us fairly. So every derby we go to, especially since it's all local. It was a good time.
Is it nice to not have to drive forever to?
Yeah.
Literally didn't have to go across the country to run.
Right. Yeah, it isn't too far from you guys, right? Probably looking at 3 or 4 hours.
Well, it's funny you bring that up. I've been punching in some different destinations in Pennsylvania and Google Maps here the last couple of days, and it would be about 5 hours for us to get there.
About 5 hours, yeah.
Give or take.
Yeah, give or take. We Google Maps still thinks that the best way to get to Stoneboro, Pennsylvania, is by way of every back road in Yates County.
Hey, but you end up at 2 gas stations and you're there. So. 2 gas stations in the middle of nowhere in a fairgrounds.
Oh my gosh! So we were going to Myrtle Beach one time, and the kids desperately had to go to the bathroom for the 4th time that hour. And I don't know if you've ever been on a road trip with young kids where they get bored, they automatically decide they have to go to the bathroom, and when they stop to go to the bathroom, they see everything in the coolers and decide they want something to drink. So then you got to be the jerk and tell them no.
Yeah.
So we stopped, and we were at a gas station that's kind of analogous to what Chase is describing getting into Stoneboro, what we saw just past the abandoned barn with the owl flying at our car, in part of Yates County, and we walked in there, and it was like out of any one of those movie scenes where the record player skips and stops and everybody just freezes in position and turns and looks. I sprinted to the back of that gas station with Kelsey. We went into the bathroom and we sprinted out of there. It's like was just short of banjos playing.
I had that experience once in Buffalo. I'll tell you about that one off air because it was it was bad. But I definitely know what you're talking about.
It's a unique community, that's for sure.
What's the rest of your season looking like? I mean, we've heard a bunch of drivers kind of referencing your skills this year, and you were kind of knocking on the door. Got the win at Fayette County. Is this a sign of things to come?
I'm gonna try running some of Frankie's hardcore shows. Mm-hmm. I know they're gonna hit Stoneboro on Labor Day again, so that'll be one that I'll go to, and then planning on running TJ McCullough's show on Halloween weekend.
What are you building for down there?
In Powell.
Yeah.
Just pulled it into the shop. Gonna start working on it. Hopefully gonna have it done here soon.
I'm in a couple group chats. And they say those 92 Impalas are tough.
Oh yeah. I do.
I don't know. I think I'd keep running that Ford that you won with over the weekend. I saw the before pictures and saw the after pictures, and that nose still looks pretty immaculate.
Oh yeah. Yeah, unfortunately, you can't run kickers a dead man. I don't think he'd like that too much.
You're a good fab man. I'm sure you could cover him up in some way, shape, or form.
Oh yeah, of course, absolutely. Stainless steel diamond plate will cover that up pretty good.
There you go.
Did the payday put a dent in that ring that you just bought?
Yeah. Oh yeah. I put some money back in my pocket. So. That was definitely nice.
Well, congratulations on that. This is the first chance we've had to catch you on air. That's very exciting news.
Oh yeah, it's been a wild week. That's for sure. Believe it or not, I actually wasn't supposed to run this derby until Wednesday night. I decided, why not? So we ended up finishing Dad's car at had to have been 12:30, 1 o'clock Thursday night, so he could get one more run in for the year.
Wow.
And got to start building for Blizzard Bash. So this is just a start to a very, very busy, full another year.
Yeah,
definitely looking forward to it.
It doesn't sound like things are slowing down for you very much.
No, this is just a start. We are very, very busy, full another year.
Things are slowing down for you very much.
Whoops. I hit the wrong button. Disregard the disembodied voices.
Nice job, Chris. Usually I do that.
That's probably the conductor of the train. Just
yeah, it's definitely been a wild ride. Here at the shop, we're extremely busy trying to get stuff done and shipped out. Believe it or not, we're preparing for another expo. We're preparing different things throughout the year. We got the youth camp, which is going to come around for the second time this month, which that's going to be another few days here.
Cool.
So between trying to derby ourselves, building derby parts, getting engaged, trying to plan a wedding, we got a pretty busy schedule, but we're very fortunate. You know, I mean, I'm definitely a very humbling thing to be a part of. You know, I guess it's better to be busy than be standing around waiting for something to happen to you.
For sure. Hey, for that whole wedding planning thing, you know, I'm kind of an old married guy, so I'm going to give you the best advice you're going to have when it comes to planning the wedding.
This is unsolicited advice, by the way.
Just remember these two words. The two words you need to know are yes, dear. That's all you need to know, and everything goes smooth after that.
I'll tell you what. I think I've said those two words probably about 1,000 times now, and
that a boy.
It's gotten to the point where she hates deer. She hates the word deer. So every sentence ends with deer. Every single time. Yes, deer. Absolutely, deer. 100% deer.
Yep.
She still likes the word yes and absolutely, though.
Yeah, eventually you get to it.
You like that trophy, dear? Or you like that ring, dear?
Oh, goodness. No, it's that's a lot of fun, man. It's that's a pretty special day for both you guys. So, enjoy that when it gets here. And you know what, you guys maybe all actually be able to relax and enjoy and have a fun day on the wedding day. You don't have to get up and work or build derby cars or parts or anything like that. So look forward to that and enjoy it.
Absolutely. It'll be a very special day. So.
Is there going to be a derby car at the wedding?
Nah, I don't know. There's definitely going to be a derby track in the background, though.
That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, as long as that counts.
We almost had a derby car at Zach's graduation party. He mentioned getting it back. We didn't have to do much to it, but putting it back to fixing it a little bit and bringing it over. But we ended up running out of time, and I'm like, "Bud, it's your graduation party. We can. You basically built it. If you want it here, you can." But we ran out of time,
cool.
so unfortunately, wasn't there.
That's cool. Yeah, that's a cool graduation party for sure.
Yep, but ran out of time, so we didn't get it done. But it happens.
So where are you guys off to next, derby wise?
Right now, officially, the next stop is supposed to be Blizzard Bash, as long as it happens.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, supposed to. We're coming up on September though, and it's gonna be late getting flights, and also I think Southwest has changed some of their baggage policies as well. But thankfully, we don't have to bring a bunch of stuff with us, so it shouldn't affect things too severely.
Backpack.
But there's all sorts of other stuff sitting out there that you never know what might happen.
Absolutely, and I'm sure they are going to be hammered with different people buying stuff to get the little Topeka.
Yeah. Yeah, the best way to get to Topeka, we found, is to fly into Kansas City, Missouri, and drive the other hour and 10 minutes. It's just the best thing to do.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
Made that trip once or twice.
Yeah. Well, you guys don't want to drive that?
No.
We've done it.
It's 7.
Once. The
Twice.
first time you guys went.
Did we do it once?
When I had to work.
Or twice?
Yeah, once. Once out, once back.
Yeah. Yeah, we made that round trip once and swore never to do it again. That wasn't the longest trip in a car, though. The longest trip was that trip to
Arkansas?
Okay.
I was going to say Kentucky. When we went to
No, that was only 10 hours.
When we went to the Top Dog show.
Yeah, it was only 10 hours.
Oh, so it must have been Arkansas then.
Yeah, because we left at 5 and got home at 2. That's a.m. and p.m.
There was that one stretch of the drive coming back. I don't know if it was Kentucky or if it was Arkansas. We were going through a construction zone at 2 a.m. on a Sunday, and we were going too fast and got pulled over. Remember
Yeah, it
that?
must have been Arkansas. I wasn't involved.
And the officer said, "This is an active work zone." And Ben looked at him, put both hands on the steering wheel, looked at him and said, "An active work zone at 2 a.m. on a Sunday? Are you kidding me?"
Oh, I missed that one.
His degree of patience was limited, yeah. And I guess the officer just agreed with him. I don't really remember anything else coming with that, but which was a wise choice at that time.
Yeah, no, we didn't get stopped by any cops coming over from Kentucky. But
I've made that drive twice now. I think made it twice going to Topeka. 17 hours. Made it one time with a big enclosed trailer hauling Dad's car while he was flying in from Chicago, and then 2019 we went, and it was go to Blizzard Bash and then hop on a plane and go to Vegas, and that was a crazy trip because it was just nonstop.
Right.
2 weeks. So.
Yeah, that's pretty big back to back.
That's a lot.
So I like staying local now. I'm starting to get used to just staying local.
Yeah, definitely. Nothing wrong with that.
Cumberland, Maryland's not that far. That's a good drive. I can drive that in the night.
Yeah.
Frankie Guy checking
Topeka,
in.
Kansas gets old.
Yeah, definitely.
Eric Millay checking in. Greg Mayerberry, his son drove a derby car to the prom.
That's awesome.
That's cool.
Kylie did that. Kylie, she didn't. I don't think she drove, but I think her dad might have dropped her off in a derby car or something along those lines because there was pictures of her in her prom dress and Jeremy driving a derby car. I remember that. But
Michelle Guy checking in. Toast tagged Indiana State Fair Demolition Derby. I don't know if that was this weekend, and he's talking about results, but I asked him if there's anything else to add on. We'll go with it. Scott Drevenek checking in. It's a busy night.
Good night.
I had the Head of Finger Lakes 1 in here helping try and straighten out some password stuff, but
it's 103 too.
It's I think it just got real hot. But it was fun to catch up with them. Met George. He's got a French Bulldog Beagle mix. It's an interesting character. All right, so checking Mark Elliott celebrating the return of Brian in the live chat. It's good. We're going to be catching up with Brandon Reimer here in a little bit, talking to Antonio Corral as well. We've got a couple things to catch up on from Matt Vern Newcomb from out there with, I think that used to be, it wasn't Crash Festa Express. That was the old program. It was at the other event that he was working on that we talked about. So we'll be touching on some of that stuff as well. Chance, is there anything else that we should hit on or that we should know about, or anybody you want to make mention of here that helped you get that win?
I just want to say thanks again to the hardcore guys. That was a great show, everything they're doing for the sport. Obviously, I'll thank my dad and the family that has helped me get to where I am now and where we're going to go from here. So, and thanks for having me, guys. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
Absolutely.
And again, congratulations on the engagement, man. Enjoy it.
Thanks, buddy.
We'll catch up with you soon.
Appreciate that.
Of course.
Yep, sounds good.
So it's good to catch up with you. We'll see you later.
Have a good one.
Yeah.
There goes Chance Smith as the mercury continues to climb in here. It was all right with the lights off and the door open and the air conditioners running, but now that most of all of those scenarios have changed, it's gone
I think we
straight
could
to
go back to having the lights off. We used to do this show in the dark at the old building.
We've done it, yeah.
If you remember.
Yeah, but we had lights on us.
That's
where
fine.
It wasn't.
Look, people know what we look like. I'm pretty sure they don't, tune in to see our faces. They just want to hear us ramble for an hour about Derby. We could do that in the dark.
Let's see. Scott Jr. won a Derby on Friday. The 30-hour drive to upstate New York, towing the longest, but it was a blast. Reg Cure, remember Reg from Anthony Jackson,
yeah.
GG2 cars and Reg.
Yep.
Little freebie got a win. Got the big poster check out there. Toast is tagging events that he's going to be at. The High Banks Beatdown, October 8th and 9th on the asphalt, and then in a couple weeks, that is that state fair that he tagged, the 21st and the 22nd.
I'm guessing Toast is like Jeffy and is probably listening to us underneath a welding helmet as we speak. I'm just going to go ahead and assume that.
Those guys aren't allowed to take their welding helmets off.
No, I'm pretty sure they sleep with them things on
there.
if they sleep.
Yes. Destruction in Dunbar results. Jacob Farmer got the win in the youth full size. Roman Simonelli and Terry Abadi. Terry Abadi moving up. Jacob Manoski in the Mad Dog slot. Steven Sickles won again. Nick Rivetti, Austin Bates. Mark Metz got the Mad Dog. Steven Sickles takes the Closer Award in the Hardcore Compact ranks. Chance Smith, that's who we were just talking with, got the win in the Hardcore full size over J.D. Loring and Ken Kiskaden. Ken Kiskaden getting the Mad Dog Award there. Some more results from Preble. This is Preble. This was the Smash show. It was on the 7th. Kyle Fields got the win in the front-wheel drive street stocks. The street stocks number 2, Steven Sickles getting the win there. You'll notice that his point total jumped by 20 points over the course of the last 48 hours because he got 2 wins again.
Yeah.
Just saying. Rear-wheel drive, Brendan Wisman coming over with a win there. Clint Lovely, West Money Break. And the rear-wheel drive street stocks 1, Shannon Pugh getting the rear-wheel drive street stocks win. Tyler McIntosh, Dalton Garcia following Steven Sickles there in the front-wheel drive. Round number 2, Doug Bozeman getting the Mad Dog. Garrett George getting Mad Dog in Super Street Stock number 1. Levi Carnes and Mark Schaefer second and third behind Kyle Fields. Still going with Preble results. This was from 8-7. James McLean coming away with the win in Mini Mod over Wade Butler and Colt Butter. Wade Butter with a Mad Dog. Bobby Clark winning front-wheel drive Street Stock round number 3. Bobby Clark, Alex Jennings, and Josh Stacy. Vans was Dylan Futrell, Chad Ealer, Travis Hicks, and Sean Reese got Mad Dog. Gunner Price, rear-wheel drive Heat 2 over Nick Hibbard, Ryan Tincher, and Walter Mitchell which I'm pretty confident is not the Walt Mitchell that we all know and love.
No, probably not.
Not from up here. Let's see here. So, with that being said, Unified Point Series, we'll give you an update on where things are at point-wise with that. Unified Point Series, the next event is going to be the 14th of August. Hardcore's Washington Warzone in Washington, Pennsylvania. TNT's Branch County Fair in Coldwater, Michigan is the same day. Big Boys Mercer County Fair in Saline, Ohio is August 19th. Then the 20th is TNT's Berrien County Fair in Berrien Springs, Michigan, and the 21st TNT's Northern District Fair in Cadillac, Michigan, and then the Michigan Swing rounds out that 14-day stretch. TNT's Oceana County Fair in Hart, Michigan, Derby Icons, Metal Mayhem, and Iron City's Iron City Nationals backing things up through the first half of September. Steven Sickles, 140 points. TJ McCulloch sitting there in second with 50 points. Tornado Terry Abadi has now tied Don Santel for third with 40 points each. Dan Rue is 38, Jordan Rutherford 36. Stay up to date online. The 527 Unified Series.com has all the details. The Hardcore Tour, we were talking about this, and parts of it are in the book with more to come. Coal Country, Chaos in Coal Country, the Greene County Fair is coming up in Waynesburg on the 13th, and then August 14th and 20th is Washington Warzone in Washington, Pennsylvania. Then the season takes that turn with September 4th and 5th, Labor Day Lockdown, Stoneboro, and then Route 40 Rumbles in West Alex, PA on September 7th and 8th. The 2021 Hardcore Championship is going to be the final confrontation in Dunbar, Pennsylvania. That's going to include that Elite Builders League show, $15,000 to win. The final confrontation is still going to be contested. There's still going to be last chance qualifiers that day. Huge Mad Dog Award being put out there as well by Jeffy's Fad Farm. You can stay up to date with everything going on with Hardcore Derby Promotions at hardcorederbypromotions.com. Coming up for Smash It. Smash It had, I think they had 6 derbies over the weekend. Or since last time we were on, they had 6 derbies. Hartford Fair is coming up on the 10th. That's tomorrow. Then they've got Athens, Champaign on the 13th. Ross County Fair on the 14th. That's a pretty busy 5 days right there. Yeah. Miami County Fair on the 18th. Henry County on the 19th. And the 20th is Boyd County Fair. It brings us back around to when we will be back in New York State on 24th and 25th. And the Portage County Fair in Randolph, Ohio. August 27th is Allen County Fair in Lima, Ohio, and then August 28th is the Dark County Fair in Greenville, and they get almost a full week off before they got to get back at it September 4th, 5th, 6th, and 8th there at the bottom of the schedule. You can find out more about Smash It Demolition Derby online at smashitderby.com. The Bash for Cash, here's some details as far as we can let you know. November 11th through the... Blizzard Bash, yes. At least the slide was right. Blizzard Bash 2021 in Topeka, Kansas, the Stormont Vale Event Center. The 11th through the 14th, national qualifying team inspections begin on November the 9th. So you're going to be getting there a little bit earlier than typical. Additional details are still forthcoming. The deadline for refunds has passed. All the divisions are full. Blizzard Bash 2021 going to include some of the festivities that have been delayed from Capital City Carnage as well. It's going to be a busy, busy weekend out there for those guys. So that gives you a little bit of an idea of what's going on in the world of Smash Demolition Derbies and some of the other promotions that we've been busy with.
So we're literally not going to sleep the whole week we're in Topeka then. Derby around the clock.
We're not going to be out there that early. that's simply not.
No, but I mean, once the events start on track, we aren't going to go to. We'll just sit in the booth for those 3 or 4 days, and life will be good.
Yeah, that's pretty much it. Matt Vern Newcomb with some updates on that event that we were talking about. Don Anderson winning the mower side of things. It was a good night all weekend long for the Eustis Lions Club. Tyler Miller in the Back in Time class took the win over Lenny Reddig and Tyler Liner. Limited Weld, Quentin Tim over Hunter Spady and Adam Hafer. And then the old school class, Mackenzie Miller over D. Miller and Dylan Moore. So there's all the action there. Matt wanted to come on the show, but he is at a community barbecue, so hopefully he's enjoying his time at the community event. We had the Sauerkraut Festival this weekend.
Did you go over?
No. I was tending a rib cage out of a brontosaurus in my smoker.
Nice.
I'll show you some pictures.
You're a fan of that smoker. You do some work in that thing.
It went in at 2 a.m. It was done at 12:30. Set an alarm clock every hour so that we were spritzing it and getting it done the right way. And found those ribs at Bostrom Farms.
Yeah.
And
I saw you and Jamie talking about the.
Yeah. Jeez, I've tried B&D's. I'll give B&D's a shot again, but man.
Have you ever went to Schrader Farms in Romulus?
No. No, I'll tell you why Boston Farms works. It was 10 minutes from school, and they're open after 3 o'clock.
Yep. Oh, absolutely. No, I get it. Did you know that originally Bostrom's Farms is where Nick Nicastro had his fleet of derby cars.
Really?
Yep.
Was that
On 414.
Oh. Okay.
Not over at Verdi, but out on 414. If you're headed south, it was on the left-hand side. And then their daughter became seriously ill, and they went out of business. And then just a few years ago, they've gotten back into it. But they originally started over here by us. But always very good quality.
They
from
could tell you
Farms.
they could tell you where everything came from. It was cool. It was very cool. I didn't know we had anything like that close to us.
Yeah.
I've been talking to Zach Anderson in Iowa, and Dustin Anderson are avid grillers. And Dustin, I was asking him questions on how to cook. I don't even remember what I was cooking. I was cooking something on a Weber grill that I got, and he's sending me pictures of the fillets of salmon that just came out of the water that he took out of the hands of grizzly bears.
Yeah.
He said, "Yeah, nothing beats fresh." No kidding.
Nope, that's for sure.
So we hit on a whole bunch of stuff. We got Matt's content there. We're going to shift gears now and catch up with Brandon Reimer. Alex Sager is in the chat. He's talking about how he's going to go break some hearts. I'm not sure what it is that he was talking about there, hoping to get some hearts broken. It's like, interesting.
He's going to go junk some guys on the computer.
Could be. It could be. I see Domination Motorsports ran their last event last weekend at Bowling Green, Bud Blowout. It's going to be turned over into some other able hands. Thought that was interesting. And then a couple hours later, we found out that Ultimate Derby's coming back too. Hey,
strange how that all happened.
Brandon, let me put you in. You know, I took my phone away from my ear before I actually got confirmation that was the right phone number to the right guy. We got Vito?
Yep.
All right, perfect. So Vito had, we're talking about family and running a bunch of different times, and with Marcella and Mark. By the way, Mark's got to get his hearing checked. A bunch of people from up here called out to him as he was making his way through the pits, and he didn't acknowledge anyone, and it made for some very fun Facebook fodder.
Where was that?
I don't remember. It must have been Bath over the weekend, I guess.
No, he was in Watkins.
Oh, maybe it was Watkins then, because Mike Christek was there and yelled to him, and Mark didn't say anything. But I mean, we talk about Marty Sager and Alex and all
Brett
of
and
Tabby and Brett. Yep, the Pensics. Well, Vito got to live a little bit of this over the weekend. Got to Derby with his dad. So I mean, take me through what happened, where it was, and how great that finish was, man.
Well, the Derby took place in our hometown in front of all of our family and friends and everybody that we know. There was, unfortunately, there was only 4 cars in our heat, but after the other 2 cars got black flag DQ'd, me and the old man, we put it on each other. It was definitely a very intense battle. After the heat, we had people we didn't even know who they were to come up to us and said, "Hey, you guys put on one hell of a show, and we didn't expect that, and we just thought that your dad was just gonna break his stick and let you have the win." And building the cars for the past week, I just kept telling my dad over and over again, it's like, "Hey, if it comes down to us, let's get it on, let's go." And fortunately, it did come down to us, and it was a blast.
What did you have?
I had a 2001 P71, and my dad had a 97 Lincoln.
Gotcha. Those mid-90s Lincolns, man, they're
tough.
They're serious.
Yeah.
The build there, is it kind of subdued, or is it something elaborate? I mean, some of the pictures that you sent me before, it didn't look like there were any of the crazy Midwest cars that we hear so much about.
Well, the class that we ran, it was a street stock or a gut and go. It's pretty much just take the glass out, and just move the wiring harness and just go have fun. Which, in my opinion, is the best class to run. If you want to run with family, because you don't care about the cars. You just go out and jump stuff.
Did you have the chance? I mean, did you guys build the cars side by side, or were you guys in separate corners?
We built the cars side by side, yes, in the same garage.
That's awesome.
That's always cool.
So your dad knew all the weak spots on your car and picked you apart.
Oh yeah, yes he did. Yeah.
Have you ever had the chance to do anything close to this?
Well, back in 2011, me and him ran another full-size stock show, and it came down to us again. But I had a '78 Newport, and he had a early '90s Bubble GM, and we went at it again. And that time I beat him because I had the better car in my opinion, but this time he got me, so I'm happy with it.
You know what that means? You guys are tied 1-1. Now you got to have the
match.
tiebreaker, man. You got to have the rubber match now.
Yeah. I'm sure it'll happen sometime soon.
That's awesome.
You should try to find like an '83 Fury with a 383 in it and derby that.
Yeah. Well, I'm not going to talk about the '80s Fury.
Well, I was happy to hear all that, and then there was enough of the car to try and run it again. But if I read right, the key got stolen.
Yes. Yep. I was actually just about to pull out onto the track. They called for our class, and I had my helmet on, gloves on, seatbelt on, and they waved our cars onto the track. And I went to turn the key, and the key wasn't there, and I just went into full freak out mode. And thankfully, a lot of my friends, they came over and, just surrounded my car, helping me look for it. But there was actually a pond right behind my car where it was parked. So I think whoever took the key out threw the key in the pond. So, yeah, that was very unfortunate.
Yeah, that's kind of a dick move for somebody to do.
Yeah. And the sad thing is about that, that's actually the second time that's happened to me.
Wow.
Yeah. Yeah, it's very not right. Very shady.
Very, very shady. It's it's stuff like that like irritates me about derbying. Like, why would you do something to somebody else's car? Like, that just irritates.
The tax down the stack, stuff like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Did you see here? I don't know. It was a while ago now, but somebody was at Derby and somebody put BBs down into their stacks, and it actually made it inside the motor. Like, it went down. Must be a valve was open, and you could see where the BBs had been beaten off the top of the pistons. Yeah.
Yeah, the first time that it happened to me was back in 2010, I think it was. I ran a Metro Cadillac, and somebody actually pulled the coil wire just barely out of the HEI distributor, just enough to where I could just at least pull out onto the track. And as soon as they waved the green flag, I'd stomp on the gas, and it just, all the wires and stuff fell out of the distributor, and it quit running, and I had no idea what happened until I loaded it on the trailer.
Man.
Yeah. So
yeah, I've had some strange things happen, and it's definitely frustrating. I mean,
Sucks to be popular.
Yeah.
Brian used to have problems like this at his hometown fair, and that's when he started screwing bowling balls to the bottom of the front seat with a chain connected to the key, so it couldn't happen anymore.
yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
Was it Brett that had something like this happen?
I don't remember.
The story about the key disappearing seems vaguely familiar, but I couldn't place why.
Yeah, we haven't read anything with keys in them for a long time.
That's
it
true.
Way back at the beginning. But yeah, it's crazy when people do stuff like that.
But I mean, what a story to be able to do it a second time, and it's 10 years removed from the first time. Yeah. And you think about the way that the sports changed, and the way that the rules have changed, and the preferred cars have changed, and the technology that even in a street stock build, a gut and go type build, that you can apply and change it up to be able to bring it down like that with the two of you, and to pull the car down and be able to run it again. It must have been fun to be able to say, well, you should have seen the other guy.
Yeah. Well, the first time that it came down to us, it actually came down to a really close family friend, and we actually, I shoved him into the wall, and we just started pounding on him, and he knew what was going to happen, father and son, and he just broke his stick, and he just, stuck his hands out of the driver's side window like, okay, there you go ahead and have fun, guys. So that was pretty fun.
Toby Hiley has told me many good stories, but one real good story about him and his dad battling. And I would love to have Toby on here to tell it, but he's actually a little shy and doesn't want to come on. But they were somewhere in Ohio running, and it came down to his dad and him. And I think they just put the third place car out, and Toby said that they had a red flag. So, his dad was looking at him, and Toby went like this and grabbed the steering wheel and spun it to show his dad he didn't have steering. His dad pushed him up between two dead cars along the wall and just sat there and waited for the time to run out. And Toby, he said when it was over, he had a father-son talk with his dad and was not happy with the outcome. But you can just imagine Toby telling this story. It was hilarious. So it's neat to hear. Obviously I've never had a chance to run with my dad. I never will, but it's cool to hear, when fathers and sons get to run together, or kids and sons. It's not just fathers and sons; it's kids and sons. So it's cool to hear like that. That's a good Derby family story right there.
Oh yeah. I mean, every car that I've ran, my dad's always been there. He definitely is the number one guy that helps me out. Been derbying now for 13 years, and he's helped on every single car. So I owe everything to him. And including my very first Derby, he was in a passenger seat, and I was driving, and the class that we ran was a blind man class, and that means the driver was blindfolded, and I was the driver. My dad was actually telling me what to do, and that was the car we ran was a '68 Chevy Bel Air two-door, and the reason why I got put out was I actually smacked the wall at about 20 mile an hour, and I was in pain, to say the least, and my throttle stuck wide open, and my dad he was like, hey, if you want to keep going, go. If not, just break your stick. So I just reached out and broke my stick. I was only 15 years old at the time.
Yeah, those walls don't move. I've bounced off them at a high rate of speed myself.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I was pretty sore after that, especially. Not able to see the cars coming. Oh
yeah. I can't imagine that. That's crazy.
You got to stay loose. Don't tense up.
Yeah.
Don't brace for the hit. Makes you not sore, right?
You know what? In all honesty, though, like I must be relaxed when I run derbies. Because in all the time, I've run a few derbies over the years. I have never, and I'm a bigger guy. I was
Brett
always
would say
as big.
Brett would say it's because you don't hit anything.
Yeah, well, I've never been a steering wheel at all. Every steering wheel I've ever ran has come out just as straight as can be. So I don't know how I managed to do that, and I'm happy because it means I'm not hurting anything when I'm hitting. But so it's weird. I must be relaxed when I run.
That brings up so many steering wheel memories. I remember Justin Harris having the bent steering wheel at Fulton because they were pulling so hard, and it bent it forward on the right side. And Rick Clark, was it Rick? Rick bringing the spare steering wheel.
Rick has a spare steering wheel every time he runs.
And I can't remember. I think it was Brett ended up breaking the steering wheel. His hand went through the composite and sliced his finger open in the middle of the Derby, and ended up finishing. Did he finish with vice grips? No,
it ran down to the end. He still had steering, but he ran it down to that happened like 2 shots in. But then he ran it down to the end, and it was him, and he was in a subframe, and Robbie Brown was in a full frame, and they were putting on a show. Like it was the battle, and
broke the steering wheel, not the steering itself.
Yeah, broke the steering wheel. He had to have surgery to fix the one finger.
It was nasty.
Yeah, and it ended up blowing the radiator.
Right.
And it all came in on him, and that's when he finally said, "All right, I've had enough," and got out.
Well, the engine was hot enough when the hose blew, it cauterized the cut.
Yeah.
It worked out. It really solved itself.
Yeah, that was crazy, but yeah, that's never
a bunch of people checking in here in the chat. Eric Remington, I remember when the 4 cars came out and all of them were in the same heat. This was at Dunkirk. As if you're in the chat and see that was actually that clip is in the opening. 4 Nasty Dog cars were built nose to tail in the same shop, and Eric and everybody else came out to the Chautauqua County Fair, there was only those 4 cars in that particular heat, and they threw them out there together, and everybody expected it just to be a shut-off fest, and it was not. They could have easily saved themselves a lot of late nights, but that's not how they do things. Eric had a Diplomat, and if I remember right, it was a small block Mopar engine, and the shots with the nose, there was only 3 of them, because after a certain point, the engine overlaps the transmission, doesn't work real good anymore. The throttle linkage on the engine was pushed back past the dash bar.
That's crazy.
It was awesome.
Yeah. That's the one big shot is on the intro.
Yeah,
I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
Eric was a lot of fun to watch at Dunkirk. Some other words of wisdom. Eugene Williams says, Vito, maybe take the keys with you from now on. Trey Welch checking in. I guess that's some good advice.
It's just sad you do that, though. I mean,
I'm definitely going to start carrying the keys in my pocket now, I guess.
Before we let you go, how did your dad get into Demolition Derby?
Well, he started back in 87, I think it was, and he ran every year, multiple cars a year until about 2010, 2011. Then he switched to compact, started running the third-gen Camaros. Mm-hmm. And then that's how I got into running compacts. And me and him ran together in compacts several times, but it never came down to us. And then he just, I don't know, he quit, and I got him back into it this past weekend. So hopefully he'll stay with it.
Is there any? Can you read the tea leaves? Does it look like he's going to stick with it a bit, or is he scratched the itch and all done?
I mean, he'll run if the situation's right. Meaning, if I have an extra car or not. But he likes helping me more.
That's cool.
To be honest, he just wants to make sure that my car is right, safe and that kind of thing.
That's cool.
I remember when Roger Matthews built that. It was a white Pontiac. I'm trying to remember at the Cuba County Fair, Weedsport, and his daughter got to run that. You remember that?
Yeah.
That was from a long time ago.
Yeah.
Long back when it was the Cuba County Fairgrounds.
Yeah.
The third time.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah, it was a long time ago.
Yep. Bunch of folks checking in. Tony Godwin, zip tie it to the column, maybe? Maybe that'll help you keep.
Yeah, I actually used to duct tape him to the steering column. I know Tony real well. He's a local guy here. I've known him for years.
For sure. How's everything else going in the world of Vito 324 Gaming? Staying busy, I'm sure?
Oh, yeah. Trying to stay busy, trying to stay cool with this hot and humid heat. Other than that, it's been going good.
Any thoughts on hot and humid heat, Brian?
Yeah, I'm ready for fall. I'm ready to get out of this room because it is hotter than
I agree.
Awesome. Well, congratulations. It was a great story. You got to do it at your hometown fair. It doesn't get much better than that.
Yep. I appreciate it, Chris. Thank you for having me on.
Of course, man. We'll catch up with you soon.
All righty. Sounds good.
See you now.
Have a good one.
Brandon Reimer checking in there. It's a pretty cool story, right?
Yeah, that's pretty neat. I really see those gut and go or whatever you want to call them classes catching on. I mean, there's a lot of them on Facebook or YouTube now.
Yeah.
And I think it's a good class. I mean, it's
back to
it's kind of how we started when I was a kid.
Why are we surprised?
Yeah, no,
it's the cycle of Derby.
Yeah, and I'm not surprised, but I mean, it's just good to see. It's a cheaper entry level into full size. That's and I like
yes.
And the cars get junked for the most part. You know what I mean? So everybody's happy there. But did you watch? Probably not. Troy Fair in Pennsylvania had a classics derby, pre whatever 60 whatever it was. And if you haven't, it's on YouTube. But you're gonna have to Google it. But there was a car in there, and it was. Oh, it's hard to describe, but it had a long nose on it and the big rounded fenders.
Yeah.
And then it was more of like a coupe roof in the back, but it was long. And I swear to God, one of my earliest Derby memories at Waterloo is seeing a car like that sitting on the track after the feature. Because I remember seeing the back of the roof like that.
Like a 30s.
I don't know what it was. You'll have to look it up.
I'll check it out.
It's on my video. But I was like, for the life of me, I've been trying to figure out what that car was because I've remembered it since I was this
interesting.
big. Yeah, so it was neat to see.
We missed something. We were talking about all the family stuff.
Yep.
Steve Lanon's daughter Mackenzie ran her first demo.
She did. I just saw that.
She should have got second. She ended up with third and got best paint.
Yep. Yeah, I just saw that.
He's
been busy building cars.
Which is kids. Just what Steve needs.
Yeah.
More Ford wagons to build.
I'm pretty sure this one was a compact, if I remember.
It
right.
was. Yeah.
It was very cool to see.
Permit me my moment there.
Absolutely. Chris is on the phone again.
Yep. Last call. This was a very cool situation, the way that it played out. So this was catching up with Antonio Corral down there. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Let's see. What didn't we do yet? Let's do this.
Oh, you got to pay bills.
While we're waiting. Hello? Antonio, you there? Yeah. All right, perfect. Hang on with me 1 second here. So we got Antonio on the line. We're going to be catching up with him here in a moment. Jeffy's Fab Farm, an industry leader in all manner of purpose-built demolition derby parts. They started in 06 with rear ends, and then they expanded to the headers, just making headers for buddies. Just wanted to do something fun for some friends in 08. Look what happened. Jeffy's Fab Farm specializes in Nellis conversions and conversion components with consistent feature wins across North America. Your turnkey solution is only a phone call away. And they've got the outlet with the Germains up there in Canada, so they can keep parts flowing up there. Jeffy's Fab Farm Camarina Box campaign sets you up for success with a retail price of $525. You need to ask about the multi-fit shifter options. You also find fuel and air parts, suspension and transmission items, steering components, pedal switches, and gauges. If you need it, it's on Jeffy's Fab Farm, jeffysfabfarm.com. And Smith Metal Works, we talked about the family thing. Chance and Casey running derbies like crazy. All-purpose fab shop that has taken the Northeast by storm. Smith Metalworks features more than 40 years of combined metalworking experience. The hallmark of the product line is the pointed and flat front bumpers, replicating popular factory releases. They can be run hollow. You can stuff them at home. Compact version is available. The pointed bumper. Other items include Crown Vic door skins, battery boxes, engine mounting systems, and more. The shop offers all the odds and ends, such as distributor clamps and weld-in centers. Be sure to ask about the GM floor liners. In-person locations for pickup in Mercer, Uniontown, and Bethlehem, Pennsylvania, or they can ship direct to your door. SmithMotorworks.info. Experience and passion, second to none. And so, moving things right along, we've got Antonio Corral hanging out with us here. Won a raffle car, then won the Derby. Not a bad night at all. This was at the Warren County Fair down in Virginia. David Klein, second place. Wyatt Schatzer and Jeremy Robinson also picking up raffle cars. Wheeled those machines, and now it's on to the next one. Drew Glick ended up taking that down. It was, I believe it was Front Royal Ford that was on the side of that. And the car was built as an awareness machine, which was really cool. Let's start first and foremost, Antonio. Congratulations on the win. Tell us a little bit about winning that car and driving it down. David Klein is a guy that has a lot of feature wins. Antonio, man, David Klein, he's no slouch. You had to wheel it to a win down there at Warren County. Tell me a little bit about the run.
Yeah, I've seen that.
Uh-oh.
I took it.
You're breaking up real bad, my friend. Keep going. I'll stop you if it if it gets worse, I guess. It's a little tough to hear you.
I said once I seen his passenger side wheel leaning in, I took a banding Joey and got him up against the wall.
Mm-hmm. Well, it was the right move to make, David Klein. If you find a little bit of weakness and it's hard to find him, you got to take advantage of it. We've seen David run at the Keystone Nationals up in Pennsylvania. We've seen him run a bunch of times down at the Shenandoah County Fair, Luray, all that area. He's built some crazy skinned cars. He's built Mopars. He's built Fords. This was a little bit more of a stock build, kind of like what Brian was just talking about a minute ago with the gut and go stuff. But it was built for a purpose. Tell us a little bit about what was going on with the car, why it was built, and how you got the chance to drive it.
Well, the car I built we actually bought it. It was pre-ran, and my dad he first ran it at Fall Chaos, Had some bad luck. Then we brung it home and fixed it back up. Then I took it to Langley Speedway in Hampton, Virginia back in March. Got second place. It came down to me and Josh Orndorff. And then we brung it back home, patched it back up, and then we took it to Warren last Wednesday and got a W with it.
And it was a pretty good run. And Wyatt Schatzer had the chance to drive the suicide awareness car that was put together for the action down there. Can you tell me a little bit more about that?
Yeah, Wyatt Schatzer, he's a wheel man. He builds good cars. He's competitive. He's got good drivetrain. And what the wagon he built for that show was for his buddy that passed away too soon. And he done something. Him and Jeremy done something different with the backs of them, which was pretty cool to see. But they never got to see how they was going to do.
Well, you got to put it in reverse to do that. Those guys,
Right.
those guys, Jeremy Robinson is who he's referring to there. Jeremy and Wyatt, they're great drivers. They can hold their own, but man, when they decide to go wide open, they go wide open, and it's only with the nose.
So it's always easier to go wide open forward.
There's been a couple experimental wagons that have come across down there. Always the 80s era wagons, and they've always done well. They never moved, and it's always impossible to explain.
Lots of work.
Yeah, lots of work and lots of work and lots of work and lots of hiding and lots of work. Is this going to be the last run on your ride? It seems like it's been through a couple of battles now. Is it you gonna be able to pull it down and run it once more?
Yeah, I plan on pulling it back down and taking it to Fall Chaos.
Is it something that you're going to add a bunch of plates to and run some of the heavier classes, or stick with the stock stuff?
Yeah, I'm gonna stick to the stock stuff. I'm running a show next Friday at Rockingham, a stock class.
Okay. The Shenandoah County Fair. Did you get over and run in that at all?
That hasn't happened yet. That's the end of August.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, it's down. That's right. It's usually about the same time as the Hartford Fair. Yeah. It's the Monday and Tuesday after the Hartford Fair up in Pennsylvania. That's right. Yeah, that hasn't happened yet.
Rockingham, then Luray, then Woodstock.
We haven't heard from Justin Smith in a while.
No.
Country Boy usually has updates about Luray and Shenandoah County and everything that's happening down there. We'll have to catch up with him. We haven't heard anything from him in a little bit. That win, does that rank among the top wins that you've got?
Yeah, it was actually a pretty good win. I didn't think I was be able to pull it off with the caliber of drivers that was in there, but I had luck on my side that night.
Better to be lucky than good.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's right.
You going to do any traveling again? I know getting up there to the Langley Speedway Derby was a big deal. Any likelihood that we'd see you pop up someplace like the Iron City Nationals or at the Deadman Show coming up at Halloween weekend?
I like to go run Deadman, but maybe next year. I'll probably end up watching it this year though.
Awesome. Well, if you get the chance, make sure you swing by. The suicide awareness car was a big deal. I wanted to make sure that we recognize that. I guess the easiest way to put it, we've seen a lot of that here in the last 18, 24 months. And it's unfortunate. Nobody likes it. Nobody wants it. And the biggest thing is for everybody to remember that they're never alone, right? I mean, I know this mental health and suicide thing is something that you carry a lot of, you carry it close to your heart. You talk a lot about it, and you talk a lot about mental health, and especially among the veterans. Yeah,
things have been tough. We've seen a lot of it, unfortunately, and it's definitely touched the Derby family. The last, like you said, 18, 24 months through this crap we're going through, and it's definitely, that's one thing, man. Is there's, especially in the Derby world. I mean, there's always, call somebody up and just talk Derby, man. Just get your mind off stuff. We really got to be here for each other. And it's, and definitely, especially, with our veterans, we've a lot of them out there and they've had a lot of them have had a pretty rough go of things. So, if you're in a Derby family, man, I just, reach out to each other, or reach out to a friend, be the guy or girl that someone can talk to. there's enough things that can happen on our own. Let's take care of ourselves and just get better with this stuff.
Recent loss that comes to mind is Zach Riggs.
Yep.
And Zach Riggs and Steve Bucknam were pretty close. They were pretty good friends. And Steve got back in the car over the weekend, got a compact, qualified for the feature, ran it down to, I believe he said he got 7th, because the group that he was running with got like 1, 3, 5, and 7.
Nice.
So it wasn't too bad. Minor fire, he was all right. When you said that there was a fire, I worried about him because I remember from traveling and everything, his back can make it a little bit tough. And getting into a compact, they're not easy to climb out of.
No. No, they're tight.
But that was pretty cool to hear that he was able to get in the car and run there. That was good. And it's hit a little too close to home way too many times. So by all means, Eddie Palick works very closely with I'm blanking on it, the 22 program.
Oh yeah, yes, it's the 22 veterans a day commit suicide in America, and he does have he helps the program. It's
Big
just
supporter, if nothing else.
Yeah. It's for veterans to reach out and try to get some help. So.
Well, Antonio, man, congratulations on the win. It's always good to catch up with you, and hopefully things go well for you over the coming weeks as you run a little bit more closer to home.
Well, thank you. Thanks for having me on here.
Of course, it was good to see you come up with a win. Is there anybody else that you want to make mention of that helped get the car down there?
Yeah, I'd like to thank Drew Glick for hauling it down, and my dad and uncle for getting me to the track and helping me steed on a win. Without them, I wouldn't be able to have done it.
Cool.
Well, on to the next one, I suppose, right?
You're right. Next Friday, Rockingham.
Good luck over there, and hopefully we get to do this again soon. We'll talk to you later.
All right, thank you. Sounds good.
There goes Antonio Corral, picking up the win at Warren County as Virginia's Derby season heats up, at least down in the valley. We're spent a lot of time traveling down through there. Rockingham, which is over close to Midlothian, of course. Mm-hmm. We all remember Ed Brewster and how many conversations we had with him, and then Shenandoah County and Luray, they're right there close together. I always saw the sign for Luray Caverns when I was traveling up and down 81. I never did stop there. But
Virginia, where cars come with independent I-beam front suspensions.
Yes, all of them.
All of them.
It's ironic.
It's weird how that happens.
They always call them tow packages. Yeah. It must be they tow them in reverse.
Yeah, no doubt. But, yep, 7:10. It's 106 degrees. I think it's time to call this one good, Chris.
I got all sorts of stuff that we got to do. We again, just to make sure everybody is fully up to speed and knows it, we will not be on next Monday. It's going to be, 21, 22. It'll be the 23rd as next time we are scheduled to be on the air. Next week it's going to be radio silent from Crash Course and from Final Round.
Chris is going on a vacation.
Yep, we're going to be down in Myrtle Beach. And
because it's not hot enough in New York.
Right. It's actually booked to be cooler down there than it is up here. So another one of the advantages of going. It's also a little bit easier to tolerate the heat when you're next to a pool in the ocean.
That's true.
Which does help.
Possibly a cold drink in your hand.
And we've been waiting for probably 3 years to make this trip. So we're looking.
You deserve it, Chris.
However, judging by some of the planning of some of my friends, just to make sure that everyone is taken care of, I am bringing my laptop down there. I am not doing a live show, although all the stuff to do a live show has been loaded on that computer in preparation in the event it is necessary. I don't plan on doing it, but I do have all the stuff to do door wraps and roof signs down there if urgency does come to pass.
I think you should probably leave that home and just go enjoy time with your family.
I don't know.
And let Melissa drive.
It's really, really hard to leave the computer home.
You'll be all right.
Melissa does not like to drive.
I promise.
Does not like to drive.
But she's got to be better at it than you.
I've managed to drive this long without hitting anything on the trips to South Carolina because we set the cruise control, we drive slow, and then we drive into traffic in Washington and sit there for 3 hours.
How come we don't go the Beltway around it?
What Beltway?
The one that goes around it.
I think we do.
95.
It's the one that goes us down. Yeah. We just inevitably end up with somebody that hits something and then they Daytona it. They hit the wall and then bounce back into traffic. You familiar with the?
Yeah, I'm familiar with
trajectory.
The next time you head south on 96 going towards Ovid, just past the jail, 3/4 of the way to Ovid, there's now a 6x6 box beam up along both sides of 96. Not really sure what for, but the state, in its inevitable knowledge, put up thousands of dollars of box beam to keep us on 96. Apparently running off into the ditch and or tall grass on the sides of the road was causing too much havoc.
You know what those box beams for, right?
Building docks.
You know what that is?
36-footers.
Well, those are all driven down into the ground so that they can put the overhead toll readers in.
Yeah.
So 96 is going to become a pay road.
Yeah, that'll be beautiful. Good thing I don't go over it often.
It'll be part of the I-99 corridor. Won't that be exciting?
That'll be amazing. All right, we're done. Let's go.
Yes, it's hot. We'll catch up with everybody later. Appreciate you tuning in. We'll see everybody next time.
The Crash Course Live is presented by
Smash It Demolition Derby, who host Bash for Cash, Blizzard Bash, and Capital City Carnage. Online at smashitderby.com. And Stirring Dirt Racing, hosts of Maymania's team show at the Golden Spike Arena in Ogden, Utah. Online at stirringdirtracing.com.
Reckless Abandon Derby Apparel and Derby Inc. Magazine. This is the Crash Course Demolition Derby podcast, recorded live at the FingerLakes1.com studios in downtown Seneca Falls, New York.